Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. We're going to talk about how to overcome monotony today. This is a big topic. I'm Lauren Polly, life coach, and someone who's really just enthusiastic about living fully awake and present in the world. So what I help most of my clients with, and one of the things that I've been really working on with myself over the years. I'm someone who has a lot of aliveness and zestfulness, definitely. Funny, I chose to actually work in a hospital as my profession, which is kind of fast-paced and stressful, and yet also has a very interesting energy of not so alive. A lot of people battling for their lives, a lot of high emotions, a lot of people have been sick for a really long time, so that energy is just really dense and intense sometimes. It's also something I've been doing now for 12 years. I just got off the hospital shift. I've still got my medical scrubs on, excuse me. One of the things I talk a lot about with my coworkers, and one of the things I've branched into over the years, is actually not just doing my normal speech pathology work, but actually doing presentations for the hospital workers on self-care. So this is where I bring in my life coaching skills, my yoga background, my energy transformation work with access consciousness, and really apply it to people about how they can change, not just change their environment, but change the way they are in their environment. And for me, one of the big things that comes up with that conversation, especially looking at how to take care of yourself in very intense environments, is looking at how to bring more zest back into your life. How to kind of come out of the monotony of the task and really find what sparks your interest, what sparks your creative voice inside, where you can actually do the same thing day to day, but do it differently all the time. And that's huge in terms of self-care. A lot of us think, okay, well, if I'm going to take care of myself, I'm in a stressful environment, there's a lot of activity, I got to get really relaxed. I have to breathe deeply. There's all these kind of things where, yes, that may help in the moment, but it's not actually going to help long term. The best thing you can actually do to take care of yourself is to do things that spark your interest, is to avoid the pitfalls of monotony where you are just doing the same thing, being the same thing over and over again, so much so that you go on autopilot and you really check out of your life. You check out of your body, and the momentary joy and beauty and magic that's available gets lost. So an amazing way to just play with this is a tool from Access Consciousness, is just to start playing with questions. One of my favorite questions to ask is, what could I be or do different here? Now, I love that, and I love giving it to the people at the hospital because they're such in the mindset of, this is the job that I've had for years. This is the environment as it is. It doesn't really change that much. The patients fluctuate back and forth, but our roles in that really kind of stringent environment don't move that much. We're usually doing the same thing, the same tasks, even having the same conversations over and over again. It gets autopilot-ish, where you just start moving your mouth, and before you know it, you're not really present with the person you're with. And oh my God, not being present with someone who's actually in the hospital, going through all of that, oh, you're missing out on so many opportunities to connect and really make a change. So again, coming out of that mindset of, this is just the way it is, this is the way I am here, and giving up and going into autopilot, actually asking the question, what could I be or do different here? It will get you more present, and it'll get you more in the moment so that you do actually show up. You show up for the people that you're there with, but more importantly, you show up for yourself. What an amazing way to take care of you, actually being present, being fully awake, and being alive in your own world. That is like the #1 stress buster of all. Not really talked about. We talk about relaxation techniques. We don't actually talk about adding in your interest, your zestfulness, and coming out of that mindset of monotony so that you actually have fun again. You show up, you're enthusiastic, and that in of itself will create something different. So again, this is something that I've worked on over the years of actually working in a hospital for 12 plus years now, with varying success, varying interest levels. There are just times where it's like, oh boy, I cannot do this one more time. I do not want to go to work today. I totally get that. But asking the question, what I can be or do different, actually adds in the aliveness of me, because it allows me to show up and be present. that in of itself starts to really change my care for me and my being and my body in that intense environment. It also, again, starts to contribute to those around me. Monotony is a death trap. Most of you all, if you're not actually creating your life, you are going way far into destruction, destructive patterns, and also just destructive energies where there's just no fun anymore. Those autopilots kick in, and before you know it, you're not actually creating or living a life that you enjoy. Years pass you by this way. This is the example of someone picks a career, they go to sleep, they wake up 40 years later, and it's a retirement party. That's it. If that's the way you want to spend your life, awesome. But also, what else is possible out there? What can you be or do different? What can you actually do to break the monotony mindset and really bring your presence, your spark of interest, and your zest back to your living? That is my target this week for myself, and I invite you to play along. Check back on this Facebook page, Lauren Polly Coaching. We'll be doing a lot of posts about coming out of monotony this week and reawakening your interest and your zest in the process. I'll see you later.